What's going on, everyone? Mortem here, this time bringing you an update of sorts, really, about Blood West, a game that describes itself as an immersive Wild West FPS, which is more or less accurate, but this game sees us taking on the role of an undead desperado as we are brought back to life by an amalgamation of souls that sends us on a mission to root out the cause of various evil curses across the Wild West. That said, this is not the first time I've covered Blood West. I actually talked about it when it hit early access over a year ago now, and it was on my mind recently, so I thought I'd check in on it, see how it's been developing as it's been in early access for quite some time. It was originally slated to release in March 2023, however they wound up pushing that back, and as of right now there is no official release date for this, though it should be releasing sometime this year, as the original early access launch only had the first area of the game, or the first act if you will, out of a total of 3. The second one has since been added. The first area is largely what you'd expect from a Wild West. It's a sort of dusty, run-down mining town with a variety of locations around there, whereas the second chapter is more of a swamp area. But the thing about Blood West is that it obviously incorporates the supernatural, as I'm sure you've seen on screen here, which sees us facing off against various sort of Lovecraftian horrors as we search for the remnants of these curses so we can put an end to them, which might just let our character finally rest in peace. Though beyond just the additional chapter, the biggest thing I would say here that's changed is largely just how fluid everything feels compared to the last time that I played it, with a variety of gameplay tweaks and adjustments to how individual weapons, things like that work. Overall, the game is feeling much better, and that's not even including things like all of the various new weapons that have been added. So suffice to say, it does feel like the game is making some progress, even if it's been hanging out in early access for a significant period of time. Though beyond those things, I would say the core experience really hasn't changed much. The progression systems are largely exactly the same. As you complete various side quests for the occasional NPC you'll run into, or the skull totem, which is the amalgamation of souls that gives us our tasks, we will gather experience, which gives us levels. Every level we get 3 skill points to put into any of the skills you see here, which will make us slightly more effective at what we're doing. And as we explore, we'll find various new weapons or special weapons, potentially even alongside things like accessories. Accessories can be used to give a bonus as well as typically a small drawback to our character. You can have up to 3 of those equipped. So both the atmosphere as well as the tangible rewards of just finding better weapons or better accessories or just items you might need in creepy locations helps facilitate some of the exploration of the various zones, and you should definitely do so because the level design in Blood West is actually pretty solid, with a lot of weaving paths that will lead you towards the same goal, especially mission objectives, which is where some of the gameplay variation comes in. Now, I would say the game does kind of push you towards stealth a little bit, as the character we play as is relatively squishy, especially in the beginning, where you can't really take a lot of damage without dying. Though, dying's not really a big deal because we are in fact undead. When we die, we simply take a debuff, which stacks up to 3 times when we die, and at 3 it becomes a full-blown curse, at which point we have to perform a small task for the skull totem to remove it. But all things considered, death really isn't that punishing. The thing Blood West does the best is providing you an avenue for combating these sort of Lovecraftian horrors, which still manage to be pretty creepy despite the rather retro graphics, and still managing to make the exploration of the game pretty rewarding. So because of that, despite the game taking a bit longer than I think anyone would have liked, with it being in early access for more than a year, it is shaping up to be a game that's going to be, I think, pretty good, and one that I'll certainly be reviewing if it ever actually releases. But even now, the game is pretty fun, so despite the rather slow pace of development, the game itself is shaping up pretty well. But that is pretty much all I've got for you guys today. I certainly hope you enjoyed this video. By all means, let me know what you think about Blood West down in the comment section below, but regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.